Alrighty, we are playing another childhood favorite of mine today. This is Pikmin 1. I got this the same day as Super Mario Sunshine in 2003, and this was a really interesting game for me. I tended to not branch out very much with the games I played as a kid. I tended to be very like, I'm only gonna play Mario, or like movie games, like licensed games. Pikmin was like a franchise that was obviously not something I'd really heard of before, so this was like a major moment where I actually started like, branching out into like other genres. So this was my first RTS. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have played any other RTS games on like NES, for example, or even PS1. So yeah, I definitely had an interesting time with this game the first time I played it. I did not have a very successful run, but now I have played this game so many times that I actually straight up feel comfortable attempting deathless runs, and that's my preferred way of playing this game. Not even joking. I like playing Pikmin deathless. I find it very satisfying to try to get through without losing any Pikmin. So that's gonna be my goal for today. Get through this game without any casualties. This will probably take a bit though. I might have to reset a few times. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out and I woke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone, I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no, better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. So here we go. First things first, I want to go to the map menu here. We don't have the radar though. I want to enable motion controls. They're already on. Never mind. The camera's fixed like this for now, but once we go over to this little thingy over here, we should actually get camera control proper. This is the Switch version, I will clarify. Is my current preferred version of the game to play, for a multitude of reasons that will be obvious as we go along. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. The way I usually play this game, I literally will let this sprout into a flower. We're gonna move on for the sake of I'm streaming this. I do not want to sit here for like 15 minutes. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and is now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I'm compelled. I must approach it and press A. And we have our very first Pikmin. Extraordinary. When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Plucking has done no visible damage. It just stands there staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pikmin brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A. I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to pressing X or moving the right stick while holding L as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints: ZL, snap camera, panel, Olmar, blah blah blah. This is just tutorial stuff. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. So a weird quirk of Pikmin 1 is every time you pluck a Pikmin, the camera snaps behind Olimar until you have all the onions. I really don't like this, to be honest. It's very jarring. Later games do away with that, though. So what we want to do is start growing more Pikmin using these pellets lying around. Astonishing, the onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So we just want to go around raising as many Pikmin as possible. The one thing that's jarring to me about this version is, it's like a hybrid from what I gather. It is like a mix of the Wii version and the GameCube version. Like you might notice the cursor is the GameCube cursor, but we still have motion controls, but they work differently than on Wii. Basically, if you hold down A, you'll aim like with motion controls, but otherwise the motion controls don't kick in. To me, I think this is good specifically on Switch because there's no sensor bar. Meaning it's really annoying trying to like get gyro controls to work consistently without a sensor bar. So I think this is actually a good compromise, because basically when you press A, that determines your sensor's position, which I think is actually better. The other thing is, in the original version, like, swarming like this was the right C stick. In this version, it's L in the right stick, because you actually have camera control, like straight up. So for example, like moving the camera overhead used to be the Z button, but now Z, well, what would be R, is used for swapping Pikmin types, which we'll see later on. You have the ability to pluck a bunch of Pikmin at once, which is nice, but just holding the button instead of mashing it. So that's very nice. Basically a lot of quality of life that was introduced in like Pikmin 3 and also even Pikmin 4, because this came out around the same time. Basically a lot of quality of life was put back into the Wii version of this game. So yeah, I think this is a really fascinating release. It's like a hybrid of a bunch of different versions of Pikmin. It's not without its faults. There are definitely things I wish had been handled differently in this game, and we'll get to that, but this version also has a lot of bug fixes, while the Wii version has some issues that are shared with the GameCube version, most notably like glitches involving Pikmin being crushed under things, like bridges or even enemies. So in a Deathless run, that sucks. Like, oh, I attacked this enemy at the wrong angle, guess my Pikmin are dead now. So yeah, that's another benefit of doing the Switch version, specifically for a Deathless run, is I don't have to worry as much about like the crashing glitches and all that stuff. So this should be a slightly cured, slightly smoother playthrough as a result. I don't know what I'm doing with my voice today. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and hold A to pick sprouts, press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw. Blah blah blah. This is stuff we've already read today. I shall record this in my computer and access it with Plus. So yeah, there is a way to just view the controls whenever, I'm pretty sure. And the other awkward thing is, switching menus here used to be the bumpers, or the L and R on GameCube, as D-pad now. Which again is kind of a sign of, yeah, this is like kind of the Wii version retrofitted back into the GameCube version, which is really weird, but it does have some benefits. I'm pretty sure the numbers formatting is different in this version. It's not quite the same. Like, I think it's like total number of Pikmin on it is the bottom number, or the denominator, and the number at the top is the amount needed. And I think they swapped it in like every future game, so this kind of changes back to account for that, but I may be wrong on that. Pikmin also seem better at like actually grabbing things on their own. A lot of times you'll like throw a Pikmin at a pellet and it'll just immediately like run back to Olimar in older versions. I don't feel like that's the case as much in this version. Pikmin still trip a lot, so that's not my favorite thing in the world. We'll get into that later. But we actually have our max number already for the day, which is 25. Hypothetically, you only need 20. When main Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by holding A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. This is only in Pikmin 1. They don't like have a pale hue in later games. Hi Chiefy, hope you're doing well. We're just getting started with Pikmin, still in the tutorial day. About to wrap up, actually. All we need to do is get the engine over here, and then that'll be it for day 1. Nothing can go wrong on day 1, you can't even lose Pikmin, there's no enemies. Amazing, there's no mistaking it, my ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get back to the dolphin? Same way as everything else, we need the Pikmin to help us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the numbers are flipped in the original. I feel like I'm more motivated to voice train at the moment because of recent events, shall we say. But I feel like I'm already just messing up my voice by like trying. I don't think I'm maintaining resonance well. I think I'm just straining my voice because I'm doing it wrong. Hi Minnie, thank you for the hydration check. This is a good time as the Pikmin are slowly carrying this part back actually, but I hope you're doing well too. Once they carry this back, the day will automatically end. There's nothing else to do here anyway. I don't even think with glitches you can actually get the other parts. I'm pretty sure this is like the one thing keeping it from being like a 5-day game. Holmar just kind of rushing in off screen because this game was originally like 4x3, so you wouldn't be able to see him come in that soon. Oh glorious, with the help of these Pikmin I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. What has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. So yeah, that's the first day of Pikmin. Again, nothing can go wrong. You can get flower Pikmin on day 1. But again, for the sake of this being a live stream, I don't want to make you sit through that. So yeah, I really love this game, and the Pikmin series in general, I have a very, like, soft spot for. I really enjoy these games, which again is very funny, given that I was very reluctant to play this game at all, and if it wasn't like a gift, I might not have played it. One day since Impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin. But I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokotate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. Hi Nicole, welcome on in. We are indeed picking the Mins today. I think this will be a 3-stream game, partly because it's deathless. If I was playing it not deathless, it'd probably be a 1-stream game, or like a 2-stream game. But because I'm going to be resetting a fair amount, I think it'll take a little bit longer. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just be really goated and get through this no problem, or I'll just completely flounder and it'll take 4 streams. Anyway, Forest of Hope time. My dolphin has returned to the surface along with Pikmin's onion. Being alone on this strange planet makes me somewhat uneasy, so I shall call the Pikmin out of the onion. All I need to do is stand in the light beneath the onion and press A. So, I love this song, by the way. Pikmin 1 has a very different soundtrack well, actually all of the Pikmins have a very different atmosphere, musically. Pikmin 1 is almost a little bit more subtle, I think. Pikmin 4 also goes to more like environmental, like subtle music, which I know is very like divisive, to be honest. I don't mind it too much myself, but 2 and 3 I think have the most like overt soundtracks, if that makes sense. 1 and 4 are a little bit more subtle, which actually makes sense in hindsight. I never really thought of it. But now that I'm comparing that, it actually makes sense if you know about Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is like a weird game to talk about because it's still kinda newish. It was 2023, so I don't really want to go into too many details about Pikmin 4. I still enjoy the game, but I've said it before, it's the Galaxy 2 of Pikmin, where it's like I'm confused by the angle they chose for the story more than anything. The game is very good, but just the story is kind of like... I wouldn't have gone that direction if I was, like, producing this game, but, you know, I'm not, so... I was gonna be mad if we already had a reset on day 2, like 3 minutes into this. So that was a little bit closer comfort. Another beef I have with Pikmin 2, I don't know if I'll even do Pikmin 2, by the way, just because, that game is mean. That is, like, a very rude game, to the point where I'm severely intimidated by attempting to cover it. And it's not even, like, I'm a Pikmin 2 defender. I'm gonna be real. I defend Pikmin 2 a lot, because I have nostalgia for it. However, I'm not gonna say it's a particularly nice game to play. It is mean. It will kick your teeth in, if you're not prepared for it. So as a result, I don't know if I'm actually going to cover Pikmin 2 on stream for my own sanity. Because a deathless run of that is way easier in some ways because you can, like, save scum more easily. It's harder from the perspective of the game is harder. So, again, it's a very, like, complicated game to try to cover in this way. Where the hell are those 2 Pikmin? They must be stuck. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day today. I'm having an alright day. I mean, I enjoy playing Pikmin, so... A day when I can play Pikmin is a good game. Good day. Yeah, we don't have to worry about as many glitches on the Switch version. The Switch version had its own glitches for a while, but they did patch most of them. They also had some really nice features too. Not features, but like... alterations, where for example, certain enemies have drop shadows now, so it's easier to avoid, like, getting crushed by them. So yeah, overall, I do think this is probably the definitive version of the game. It actually makes me wonder if, because this wasn't like an all-stars situation where it's delisted, I wonder if, like, the GameCube versions will be put on NSO at all. Because, like, we got Mystery Dungeon, even though we also have Rescue Team DX, so I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility that we'll get this on NSO. And again, it is a different version ostensibly, because this is like a reworked Wii version versus the GameCube version, which has its own charm. But again, we'll talk more about that at the end of the playthrough, because there was one very distinct difference between the GameCube version and the Wii original. So this is Nectar. This will flower our Pikmin, power them up. Another intriguing discovery, a local variety of grass produces a sort of yellow nectar. When the Pikmin drink this delicacy, they instantly mature into flowers. This apparent Pikmin favorite seems to be full of nutrition. Closer observation is needed to determine the strengths and peculiarities of these flower Pikmin. There's another patch of grass over on the other way. Or on the other side of the landing site. So I'd like to get full flowers, because we'll be fighting a couple enemies very soon. 76 should be enough to handle the bulb orbs in this area, but this game can just kind of screw you over sometimes. Like, sometimes you can be, like, thinking, oh, this is gonna go well, and it just goes disastrously. My advice for Pikmin 1 is swarming, but in the GameCube and Wii versions, that has a risk of getting Pikmin killed, because they can actually get crushed by the body of the bulb orb falling. It can basically push them under the floor and kill them. Same goes with bridges, so this game is very annoying on GameCube and Wii because of those glitches, but again, don't have to worry about that, so that's one less reason to have to reset constantly compared to the those versions. This version is also widescreen, which is nice, because it is based on the Wii version. I do feel like the HUD is a little stretched though, a little more stretched than I would like it to be. Hi Stormplate, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. We're just picking Pikmin. Shit. That was a bad angle, but we lived, so I'll take it. And now we have the yellow onion. This is our second Pikmin type, and a very interesting type in this game. They have unique properties compared to any other Pikmin game. I'm gonna leave a couple enemies around. Well, that's... never mind, we don't have time. We'll just do this now. Anyway, this is the yellow. They have ears. The color is different, but it seems to be a Pikmin nonetheless. First glance suggests this one has what in some circles could be considered very large ears. It looks like it may weigh less than the others. In what ways might it be different from the red Pikmin? I must be sure to observe it closely. I can hold a Pikmin for a moment with A, and then swap it for another by pressing R. So this is new to the Wii version, and also is included in this version. Being able to swap Pikmin like that. You could not do that on... Why? It's the Eternal Fuel Dynamo. It has unlimited energy supply. I won't have to worry about saving electricity anymore. This will make my fight for survival a bit easier. Yeah, this is the Switch version for the sake of convenience. Again, quality of life, a mix of quality of life and just pure glitches that would actively screw me over. So I just felt like this would be the best option. Oh yeah, you have to hold the button. Okay. The funny part is I don't, like, ever grow yellow Pikmin. You'll notice I will probably grow, like, I don't know, like 20 yellow Pikmin and then stop. Because I don't use yellow Pikmin very much for most things. I only need like 20 for this entire playthrough. If we're doing it deathless. Eternal Fuel Dynamo, this should light things up. No more candles for me. I've now recovered 2 out of the 80 parts. If I can find just 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. I don't know if it's just me, but the font is huge in this version now that I'm thinking about it. I never really stopped and thought about it. It's nice though, as someone who sometimes struggles to read games, especially in handheld mode. But it does look a little funny. I've seen like clips of like Strive on Switch, and yeah, the HUD is huge in that version, which again makes sense, but definitely looks a little bit odd. I've made yet another Pikmin-related discovery. Just when I was about to exceed 100 Pikmin in the field, the onion stopped expelling seeds. Yet the total number of Pikmin continued to climb. It seems that once there are 100 Pikmin in the field, subsequent seeds get stored inside the onion. No more than 100 Pikmin can be in the field one time in any area. Oh, hi Twy! Welcome on in! Pimkin Nuggets. Hope you're doing well. The yellow Pikmin have picked up some peculiar stones. Why did they decide to grab them? This action seems to be instinctive to the yellow Pikmin. But just what are these strange glowing stones? Brightly glowing cracks cover them. Perhaps these cracks indicate that there's tremendous power locked away within. This merits further research. You doing good? Just getting ready to go out? Hell yeah. The clock has indicated the coming of noon. From now on, I must pay close attention to the sun meter and monitor and choose my actions accordingly. So, it is best for me to review my monitor's data. Across the top of the monitor are the sun meter and data display. At the bottom are my spacesuit damage meter and Pikmin gauges. From the left, these numbers reflect Pikmin under my command, Pikmin in the field, and total Pikmin including those in onions. To adjust my monitor, I can move R, or right stick to rotate the camera, press Z to zoom, ZR to zoom, and move down on right stick to look down from above. I can also press plus to view a detailed computer analysis. Hey, we have bomb rocks now. I'm gonna try not to blow myself up, because, hey, guess who's really good at blowing herself up? It's me. Hi. The glowing rocks the yellow Pikmin picked up seem to be explosive stones. Perhaps they know what these stones can be used as. Perhaps they know that these stones can be used as powerful weapons. The bomb rocks are dangerous, so I must take care when using them, but they should be able to blast open the stone walls that block the pathways. Maybe even be able to use them against some of the wild creatures. I must be vigilant. When I throw bomb rock carrying Pikmin and give them orders, they will toss their bomb rocks at nearby walls or obstacles. The explosive power of the bomb rocks is tremendous, so I must keep my distance. You're also really good at blowing yourself up, I see. Hi, Son. How are you doing today? Hi, I'm gonna do something really slow, but again, if I'm doing this deathless, I need to be careful. These shear grubs have a weird property in Pikmin 1 specifically, where if they are chewing on a Pikmin, they will take no damage until they actually finish eating the Pikmin. So I find it very easy to lose Pikmin to these guys. So I'm deliberately fighting these the slow way, since this is a deathless run. So again, that's the one downside of doing this. This is not a speed run or like a 6-day run or anything. I'm taking my time. But yeah, I can still beat this game in like, 2 weeks in game time, even going slow like this usually. It can just take a little bit of finesse, just get that to work out. I don't know why, but it feels like I've done a lot today already. Normally, it takes me a lot longer to get like the yellow Pikmin set up, which is good. I'm going fast. Female ones are harmless. Yeah, only the purple ones are the problem. But there is the problem of, yeah, if they bite a Pikmin, you cannot save that Pikmin. So I'm going to be fighting most share grubs, or the purple share grubs specifically, with Olimar, and not with the Pikmin directly. Again, it's slow, but safe. The other problem is the flying ones, the sheer wigs, I think is what they're called, where you kind of just have an obnoxious property where they'll start flying after a bit, which just makes it really annoying to deal with them. Why am I missing one? Okay. The other nice thing about motion controls is you can kind of like extend farther than you're supposed to. So you can very easily aim at things that like you're not really supposed to be able to reach with the targeting, the default distance with analog. And that goes for the Wii version too. You can aim past where you're supposed to. I'm gonna get this guy out of the way now, so I don't have to worry about him tomorrow. This is like a weird spot to fight him though. Sometimes the Pikmin can totally get stuck fighting him, so I'm glad that worked out. I'm gonna only put half on the wall, because I do want to clear out the other sheer grubs and also get the radar on that ledge. Yeah, these guys will get in the way as we try to blow up the wall, so I don't know if I'll blow up this wall specifically today. We'll see. At least I'll get all the shit out of the way here, so the yellows have a clear shot at everything. And yeah, I think we actually have enough time to grab all this stuff. I mean, this will be a 2-day anyway, just because I'm not that good at the game, especially doing it deathless like this. Because I'd have to get that part over there, and then the one past this wall, which would take a bit. So yeah, I wasn't entirely expecting to get through this, like, uber fast. And I'm gonna try to do a speedrun trick really quickly, I think. This might blow up in my face in more ways than one, so I'm actually deliberately going to save that for the next day. Because again, it may literally blow up in my face. Okay, that was really stupid. I don't think I should have gotten away with that. I found an Nova Blaster. This emits a dazzling burst of light capable of destroying almost anything. I'm not exactly sure what about this, but the promotional brochure claims that its blast can travel in the currents of space-time, smashing through stars and into the rifts of space. That feels like hyperbole, somehow. Good old hyperbole. That's bad timing. A lot of times this happens to me, where the cutscene will start playing right as I'm carrying like a bunch of Pikmin past an enemy and like, oh god, I have to go on guard. Whimsical radar. This important part can detect the locations of the other missing parts. The radar will be added to my monitor, which I can press plus to view. I can scan with left stick or zoom with right stick. This will surely help me in my search for the remaining parts. I've now recovered 3 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 2 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. That'll be doable. Shit, I only have 8 Pikmin here. That's a problem. This wall takes 9. So I miscounted. Oops. Well, we can get most of the wall then, at least. There's a couple areas where it's like, I don't even bother. The big example for me is... Brain, please. The big example for me is the Forest Naval. I just kind of don't bother with a lot of the walls there because they're just in bad spots. Might as well carry this stuff back. I really wish they were... Never mind, they're done. Cool. Yeah, we could have gotten all the parts in this one day, but I'm taking my time. This is kind of a leisurely playthrough, I'm gonna be real. Like, I can definitely beat this game faster than this, but safety strats, basically. Okay, so gonna put these on here. The clock is indicating the approach of sunset. Pikmin waiting beneath the dolphin and onions will probably enter the onions on their own, but if I don't call the stragglers and add them to my group, they may not be able to get back. I'm sure that the Pikmin still planted are safe, but I'm somewhat concerned about leaving Pikmin to fend for themselves in the darkness. Thank God for every subsequent game that gives you a ring to be like, hey, these Pikmin are not safe. Like, if they're outside this ring. It's like... quality of life is very nice in the later Pikmin games, and I definitely miss some of that going back to Pikmin 1. Oh shit, like this guy's just standing here, that's really bad. So we're gonna get them really quickly. Yeah, I could've done better, but it's fine. I feel like the Pikmin are actually better about automatically attacking things in this version too, which is really nice, because that was always really annoying on GameCube. But again, tripping still happens. That's the one thing that's still kind of annoying. You can also just go to sunset. We have 5 seconds left, but might as well save a little bit of time, right? Days in Pikmin are like 13 minutes, usually, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, I think in some games they're longer, though. In Pikmin 3, on different difficulties, you have different day lengths. I think in normal difficulty, they are, like, on hard and ultra spicy, they're 13. On normal, quote-unquote, which is easier than the Wii U version, it's like 15 or 16 minutes. 2 days since impact. It appears that many of my ship's parts have landed in this region. If I can just recover the parts from my radar, I should be able to use my radar screen. Awkward. How that would improve my chances, then I'd only have to press plus to locate my parts. There's a joke here, I'm not gonna make it. Yet there seems to be many hostile life forms here. If I'm attacked and my spacesuit takes damage, I must return to my ship. Stand in front of it and press A to make suit repairs. As I explore, I must pay attention to my suit's damage meter in the bottom left corner of the screen. Next, 141 Pikmin grown, damn. Thank you for the stretch reminder. I'll probably stretch in a little bit, but yeah, we have like 25 minutes. We can definitely do another day if nothing goes horrifically wrong. But yeah, that's like canned dialogue for your first trip here, which is just awkward because it's like, oh, we already have the radar. I'm an overachiever. So, yeah, that's like just a little bit of an... I don't want to say an oversight. I don't think that's quite the word I'm looking for. But it is definitely something that isn't like... You know, they don't expect you to get the radar in one day, especially on the first playthrough. Pikmin is like interesting from that regard, because... what am I trying to say? Basically, there's 30 parts in 30 days, so hypothetically, if you get a part a day, you will be fine. You can obviously get more than that in one day, in which case you can fly through this game no problem. And that's like the challenge of Pikmin. It's a very short game, so part of the challenge and the appeal of Pikmin... Can you actually attack these still? You can, okay. Later games change it so you can't, which is good, so you don't accidentally break a pellet posy before it, you know, fully grows, which is very obnoxious when that happens, when Pikmin will just automatically latch onto it. But I forgot what I was saying right before. The part of the appeal of Pikmin is this game is really short, but replayable. Oh, well, that's awkward. Does this work in this game? Okay, that's a reset already. Damn, that's unfortunate. I didn't actually know there was a flint beetle in that patch of grass. I genuinely had... This is the wrong file. I genuinely had no idea that was there. I'm realizing there's something really silly I want to do. I should do that first thing this day, because it's kind of like... It can go wrong really easily, so I should probably do this first. So, I'm gonna take 5 yellow Pikmin for this. This is just a short little, like, bomb rock exercise of sorts. Basically, what I want to do is break a wall that you're not supposed to be able to break yet. So, there's the wall near the water of the north area. You can actually break that with bomb rocks. It's easier, in my opinion, on Switch because of the cursor, like, being able to use motion controls to aim farther. On GameCube it sucks, but on this version it's not too bad. And you can whistle them back from the water, so it's not terrible. Wii version is actually kind of annoying because the cursor can go past farther than you can throw, meaning it's very easy to accidentally, like, misjudge distance. So yeah, this is actually a trick that I think is, personally, a lot easier on Switch. Oh. So that can happen too, where they just get stuck on the opposite side of the wall, and then you just get blown up. So yeah, that's the problem with trying this trick. Which is why I want to do it first, because it can go wrong very easily. So again, speedrunning is something I want to do at some point. I need to, like, talk to Zahn about it. Because, like, we've kind of talked about, like, racing a game at some point, but I literally don't know what would be a good option for that. Because it's like, I feel like the games that, like, we grew up with are very different. So, if you could do Pikmin... Yeah, it's like the games we grew up with are very different. I kind of had this realization recently that's like... I feel like I grew up with a lot of Nintendo games, hence this Fox Girl's favorite series being heavy on Nintendo games. But it kind of means that a lot of, like, my friends grew up with PlayStation, to be honest. Yeah, actually tossing them over there works better. If you could run the game. It's Dolphin, so, like, if you use Dolphin, it might be fine. Yeah, like, this is a really fun trick. You can fight the Armored Cannon Beetle. Like, people do day one, like, 1 day Forest of Hope runs, like, straight up. And this is how they do it. Like, this is how they get past that. There's also ways to, like, get Pikmin over to the Libra on this day just by wading them through the water. Obviously, there's high risk of them drowning, but it is possible to get the Libra just by guiding Pikmin with carefully timed whistles to get them over to that tiny little lip over there, and then toss them up to the bridge. And you can also get to the Snagret area by basically tossing Pikmin past where the box is. Like, they'll land past the box and they'll start pushing it. The one risk of that is sometimes they can fall off into the water and drown. So again, there's a lot of things where it's like, you know, in a deathless run, I'm not gonna F around and find out that much, but I could beat this in 1 more day, easily. If I want to yeah, F around and find out, basically, if I want to experiment. But it's mostly just the Libra that's like, I've never quite figured out the timing to actually make that work. That just feels a little scary for my liking. Yeah, I love Pikmin speedrunning. I'm going to use an exploit later on. I'm gonna be, like, fully, like, honest about it. There's a really cool exploit in the Distant Spring to circumvent the worst part in the game. So, like, the worst part in the game is, like, the Chronos Reactor, just because it's a pain in the ass. Basically, you have to, like, change Pikmin back and forth. There's a way to clip up to the ledge and have skip the entire thing. And I'm going to be doing that because I don't like that sequence. And this is a glitch that they did not fix in the Switch version. Or the Wii version. It still works. So, yeah. Because it still works, I'm gonna use it. And save myself a lot of headache. So I'm gonna get this out of the way first. Fighting this Bulborb sucks, I'm gonna be real, because it's on like a slope where Pikmin have a hard time latching onto it. So what I like to do is I like to aggro it first, and then guide it in such a way that it ends up not on the little like hill. Again, I've played this game too many times throughout my life to the point where I have figured out a lot of really arbitrary strats to make a deathless run a lot more viable. Not viable, but like less of a headache basically. Like, yeah, I was mildly nervous, but I genuinely knew, like, oh yeah, that's gonna work. He's not gonna aggro from that distance. Cause yeah, a lot of times when I try to charge this one in particular, never mind. It's at a bad angle. It's the shock absorber, this sucks. This apparatus counteracts this shaking and swing that normally occurs during flight. It's smooth sailing with this in place, usually. Keyword being usually. So yeah, he's not cooperating this time, which kinda sucks. Normally I have better luck with this, but... I could try tossing, but... Yeah, I don't know why they're not latching on very well. I mean, they lived, so I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, but... And the other problem, I already complained about this, Pikmin 2's counter is slow. Like, it literally doesn't tally, like, in real time. It, like, kind of waits until the Pikmin's on the ground and then tallies. So, like, I find that really frustrating. Because it's harder to gauge exactly how many Pikmin you've tossed onto an item at a given time. There's just a lot of things in Pikmin 2 that just feel weird to me, as much as I love Pikmin 2. Again, I will swear by Pikmin 2 as being very fun, but also mildly jank. 3 I think is the one I like the best overall. I would probably say I like 4 a lot, but I think I like 3 slightly more. And there's all that stuff over there. Again, I could do that today if I wanted to be gutsy, but given that this already has taken like 3 resets, I think I'm gonna play it safe. This nifty little device counteracts the shaking and swing experienced in a typical spaceflight. I've now recovered 4 out of 30 parts. If I can find just one more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Piece of cake, no problem. I'm gonna wait till they stop finding bombs. Shit. Okay. One decided to tag along and almost got blown up as a result. I love Pikmin AI. It is very cooperative all the time and doesn't totally give me a heart attack at a moment's notice from just running haphazardly towards a hazard. Nova Blaster. This is a weapon of such incredible destructive force that it can blast stars into tiny pieces. It has a strange allure. I've recovered 5 out of 30 parts, increasing the dolphin's capabilities. My search can now cover a wider area. Some bring up the point of, if he can blow up asteroids, why didn't he do that? Why did he just careen straight into it like a dumbass? Later Pikmin games kind of try to establish a bit of lore, where it's like there may be some kind of magical force, not magical, but some kind of force that's like affecting things. But I don't know if that's really in play anymore because of Pikmin 4, but again, that's getting into like spoilery territory. Again, it's really hard to talk about. Again, someday, maybe. I'm still debating what to do with the other Pikmin games, because again, it's like... 4 is a lot of work, to be honest. It's a long-ass game. Longest Pikmin by far, and it's like, kind of... like, intimidating. I need to stream more often. The other thing is, like, you know, with Zon in chat right now, I need to, like, sit down and, like, discuss, like, when are good times to hang out, basically. At some point, just to like establish what would be the best day for me to set another streaming day, because it's like... I feel like I'm just really, like... I'm trying to spend a lot of time with friends. But that often means I end up, like, putting off streams, because it's like, oh, but everyone's hanging out today. So I don't end up actually streaming, and I keep, like, I should just figure out times to spend with everybody, and then not have to worry as much. This extraordinary bolt. I bought this incredible bolt because the salesman told me it is of extraordinary quality that is indiscernible to the average person. Exactly what makes it so extraordinary is a secret, but just look at it, it's extraordinary. The funny part is this is required. There are 5 ship parts that aren't required. This is one of the required ones. I don't understand it. Because he's basically... This is an Emperor's New Clothes. Like, 100%. It's just a bolt. Like, it's supposedly, like, special. This bolt's bolt contains the kind of value that only a true connoisseur can understand. I've now recovered 6 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 6 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. It's like, even Olimar kind of feels like he's full of shit here. Like, yeah, he doesn't know what's special about this either. He's just kind of going on faith there, and to make himself feel better. The other nice thing about the Wii and Switch versions of Pikmin is it's easier to throw Bomb Rock Pikmin and not have them drop their bombs, which really sucks sometimes. The workaround on GameCube is to, like, bump into them to, like, get them to follow you, but if you whistle them, they'll automatically drop their bombs. This has pros and cons. There are some cases where you want them to drop bombs, and they won't in this version. But in general, I think it's actually a welcome change. The Armored Cannon Beetle's like kinda... I don't know what to do with it, because on one hand, we could get another ship part very easily. On the other hand, this is a great source of blue Pikmin early on. At least I usually use this as a source of blue Pikmin early on, so I might save this part for later. Which also brings up the question of, like, we have everything we can get here that's required for the next area. So I could just end the day here. Like, we have more than enough Pikmin, I'm gonna be real. Like, we have over 100 red Pikmin, you can only have 100 on the field. We don't... If we're doing a deathless run, I'm not losing any. So, like, we have as many Pikmin as we really need. So I can kind of just say, like, F it, and just not worry about growing more Pikmin, in theory. We can just end the day early, but I'm gonna do one more thing for the sake of setting up the next day. This is not entirely helpful, I'm gonna be real, because sheer grubs spawn on the next day or so, and we'll start dismantling the bridge anyway. But we can build the bridge and have it partially constructed, so we don't have to build all of it next time. Which will make our lives a little bit easier. This bridge is also really short. The other bridge is longer, so, you know, every little bit helps. The other thing is, on later days, a swooping snitch bug appears in the Forest of Hope. Basically a flying bug that will pick up Pikmin, then throw them into the ground and replant them. I'm eyeballing this way more than I should right now. I should not take risks. I need to do a dedicated run sometime of me just trying speedrun stuff. Cause, like, I'm tempted of at some point learning the, you know, blueless Libra strats, but I don't think I should do that right now. I think I should just end the day and play it safe. And not be overconfident in myself and rush headfirst into danger constantly. Yeah, other than the, like, 3 resets of this day, this playthrough's been kinda going nice. In general, this is an interesting game for me, like, straight up, because this is a game I used to play yearly, because it's relatively short. 3 Days Since Impact, I now add yellow Pikmin to my list of discoveries. These creatures can wield bomb rocks, so perhaps I can use them to blast down rock walls and open up new regions. Red and yellow Pikmin, as well as bomb rock carriers, break into squads when dismissed with X. If I grab one for a moment by holding R8, I can swap Pikmin by then pressing R. Thanks, Olimar. That is information we already knew, and it overrode the actual dialogue we should have gotten, which was telling us about the next area that just opened up, the Forest Navel. We got time to at least do part of the day. We'll probably have to pause partway through the day just to let the ads roll. But yeah, we'll be able to get through most of this day, I think. Alright, so I live dangerously. So we're gonna try to get a lot done today. I have 3 parts. No, wait. Four parts in mind? Is that right? Yeah, I'm trying to do math right now. It's not going well. I think it's 4 parts. We'll see. We'll let them work on this wall, and then we'll go find the blue Pikmin, which should be right over here. Now we don't have to worry about the weird camera snapping thing whenever we pluck a Pikmin anymore. There we go. Blue Pikmin. These ones are interesting. There's also, like, this part up there. There should be an enemy called a bread bug that's roaming. There's a part back there, and there's one more I can easily get. So yeah, we will easily get like 4 parts today. There's the bread bug in question. It actually makes growing blue Pikmin really hard because you have to outnumber a certain strength quota to avoid getting pulled away. It is a Pikmin of yet another color. Near this one's cheeks is what appears to be a set of gills. This trait suggests to me that this blue type of Pikmin can enter the water without any trouble whatsoever. There's only one way to find out. I'll use A to hold one and press R to swap it out and issue my commands. The Pikmin is like actively in water, Olimar. I think this one can swim. It's like, good job, genius. Yeah, the bread bug is really close for comfort. I'm gonna take a chance at getting this pellet in, because as soon as I have like enough blue Pikmin to overpower it, it won't be that bad. Otherwise, we can have a problem. Actually, while it's taking care of that, let us hop over here. And these little rocks have nectar, by the way, so we're gonna break some of these for the blues. Not that we'll get many blue Pikmin today, in all fairness. There's also this part over here, so we might as well grab this real quick. Yeah, they used to auto-attack the sprouts, so again, that's a very welcome change that they don't do that anymore. There's also, like, enemies right over there. You can actually see one peek. Oh shit. That's real bad, actually. Yeah, it's really close for comfort. I found the automatic gear. This thing chugs right along at its own pace. It makes piloting much easier, giving me time to concentrate on the finer points of space travel. Neat. I actually don't know if breadbugs will go for parts in this game. There's one way we can find out real quickly. Yes, sir. Is no. Okay. Cool. There's some other stuff we can do with the red Pikmin. I'm missing some. What happened? Oh. Okay. I am gonna get these guys started on a bridge over here. There's so many walls that lead to shortcuts. I'm not gonna be opening up most of these just because they're a pain to reach in a lot of cases. And the bed bugs can be damaged directly. It's just an obnoxious process. But also, I don't like fighting them in water because then you need like 25 blue Pikmin to get the part back. It's So I'm deliberately not gonna have the blue Pikmin deal with it. I'm gonna save pellets for later. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games like Mario Sunshine, which we just went through recently, where it's like, I hope I'm, like, playing relatively well beyond, like, a couple screw-ups. It has thin cracks running through it. I tried to fill them with dirt. I hope it will be alright. Oh my dumbass. I've now recovered 7 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 5 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. I love the flavor text in Pikmin. All these games have very good flavor text. Alright, so while that's being taken care of, I'm spreading myself real thin right now, I'm gonna be honest, so I think I can handle it, but I'm definitely gonna run into problems, is what I'm saying. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, that's done. So we'll knock down this real quick, for the sake of luring the bread bug over. I said for the sake of luring the bread bug over. Is not having the easiest time. And we'll do this. Okay. So that should be good to go. For a little bit. And so I'll go over here, grab the blue Pikmin, and then get the #1 Ionium Jet over there. We're also coming up on ad break, so we're gonna pause real quick. I'll get up and stretch and hydrate once that starts. Okay, they're kind of stuck, okay. Neat. Actually, this timing is very good. I might be able to snipe it. Nope, he's running away. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping... I mean, you can deal damage directly, so... you can try. There we go. Here's cake. I'm very disorganized at the moment. I am playing interestingly, for sure. Thank goodness, my space float. This float is an absolute necessity for any pilot who lacks its skills at swimming in space. Yeah, okay. This is not required. You can miss this one and still get the good ending, but not the best ending. Well, since we're here, we might as well grow a few more blue Pikmin. Also, it's very good timing. Space Float. An excellent swimmer like me has no need for something like this, but my motto is always be prepared. Really, it's just for emergencies! I have now recovered 8 out of 30 parts, so if I can find just 4 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. So we're going to pause there for the ad break, and then we'll resume shortly.